So in my last state of the collection, someone put a comment in the comment section that I have a dog's breakfast for a collection. And I found the comment very funny, and I think they were trying to be insulting. However, I sort of took it as a compliment because it's true. I do have a dog's breakfast of a collection. I have tons of different watches. Nothing is really focused. I don't collect a specific brand, a specific type of model. I do like dive watches, but I also like quirky, weird watches. And today I have purchased yet another quirky, weird watch. This is a Ventura. This is the Sparc MGS, and it is a very weird looking watch. It's sort of shaped like a boomerang, as you can see. That's because it is a driver's watch. So this is meant to face you while you're driving, while your hands are on the steering wheel. This is the digital display. It faces you. On the top, 2 sapphire crystals. On the top sapphire crystal, you can see the actual movement. The movement is an auto quartz that has a capacitor. It's very similar to what you get from Seiko when you think of kinetics. And essentially what that does is it moves with your wrist. When you move, the actual oscillating weight here moves around and it charges a capacitor. That capacitor in turn powers the display. The display is an LCD display, and that is a negative LCD display. So it is a very cool looking display if you like that sort of look, and I do. I think it's a very good looking watch. Now this watch has actually won design awards, the Red Dot Award, Best of the Best, I think it was 2012, and then some other Japanese design award. It is a really nicely designed watch. It is a big watch. It is made out of stainless steel. This is sapphire crystal, as I mentioned. The stainless steel that is made out of is called Duranox. It is hardened stainless steel, which is essentially similar to tegmented steel. You get a really nice bracelet on here, very solid links. This is a very heavy watch. You would not expect it because technically it is a quartz watch. However, because of the fact that it is a quartz watch and it's an auto quartz, it's actually just as heavy or heavier than a automatic or traditional automatic watch, and that's because it is a large piece of steel, this case. So if you do not like a heavy watch, this is definitely not the watch for you. As I mentioned, it's beautifully made. Everything is bead blasted. You only have a little bit of polishing on the back, and there's just a little plaque there that gives you some information on the watch. You have perlage on the inside of the butterfly clasp. You do get half links in here, so it was pretty easy getting a decent fit. Feels really nice. It's signed right there. Screwed in case back, only 30 meters of water resistance, but that kind of makes sense to me. You have a button here that controls a light. We'll get back to that in just a few minutes. Logo there, just a V, very simply actually designed and executed, even though it's kind of a complicated watch. And then you have the easy scroll. I wouldn't call it easy. I would probably call it difficult scroll, but it's not the best. It works. All you have to do is scroll with your thumb, and it changes to different screens. So you have a countdown timer, and then another countdown timer, and then you have an alarm function, and then there is some time zones. So you could do 24-hour or 12-hour, depending on what you want. And then you have the local time with running seconds, or local time with the full date. Or you could just have just Monday the 30th if you want. So it's pretty cool. It actually works really nicely. And it is, like I said, a very substantial watch. It feels very substantial in your hand. It looks like a boomerang, and that's because it fits your wrist very nicely. Like I said, a driver's watch. And the way I would describe this watch is if MB&F were going to make a quartz watch, this is sort of the quartz watch that they would make. Now, they would probably charge $30,000 for their watch, even if it was a quartz watch. However, this is not a cheap watch by any means. So when they came out with this way back when, and I believe it was in 2011 or 2010 or somewhere around there, this watch was actually around $6,000. Now, they make 2 different versions. This is the Sparc MGS. There's another Sparc MGS. Actually, this might be just MGS is what they're calling it now. And there is a Sparc MGS that has a little bit more of an organic shape. It looks sort of curved. It has the same exact layout, movement window, and then, of course, the digital display. That is around the same price, or the original MSRP was around $6,000. And then they came out with a Quartz version that's a little bit more affordable. It's just basically the screen with stainless steel covering this area instead of a window that shows the movement. Now they are selling them on their website for $2,600, but when you put them in the cart, there's like taxes and all this other stuff. So they come out a little bit over $3,000 if you want this watch. If you want the one that is PVD coated, so they make a black PVD coated, there's like a limited edition. If you want the one that is more ergonomic or sort of organic shaped, that one is also the same exact price. So they're around $2,600. Now, did I pay that much? Of course not. What I did was I went on eBay. I've had a search on eBay for years to find this watch. Actually, this exact watch. I would have taken one that was PVD coated, but I prefer the stainless steel. Because it is Duranox, it is sort of a tegmented steel, so usually they're in pretty good shape, and this one is in excellent shape. And it came out as at a good price. It was around $1,400. I made it an offer around $1,100. We settled on $1,150. They accepted my offer. It was through an AD, through Radcliffe Jewelers in Maryland, so I was really happy about that. They shipped it super quick. It was like overnight shipping. Very, very quick. So there was a little bit of a problem with the watch, and it does persist today. I actually contacted them immediately, and I said, you know, the capacitor is not holding a charge. Now, this is a problem with watches that are either kinetic or auto quartz. Auto quartz is actually made by ETA, so this is technically an ETA movement, but it's heavily modified by Ventura. Very heavily modified. They definitely do not look like this. This is all PVD coated. They did a lot of work on these watches and their movements. And this capacitor is hooked up to the screen. That's what's powering the screen, obviously. And it's sort of their proprietary setup. So they're the only ones who've done this. They've actually lent this technology to Braun. They've actually sold their watches or rebadged them for Braun. However, these are the originals. Ventura are the originals. So I reached out to them, and they were really, really nice, and they said that they would either take a full refund and give me a full refund and take the watch back, or they would give me a partial refund so that I can get the watch service. Now, a service on the capacitor probably will run between $200 and $400. I believe they gave me a $300 refund, which is more than fair, I think, and I definitely appreciate it. Now you can see it is running right now, and that is running because it is above 50%, but it does not stay above 50% very long. And then what happens is the screen goes off. So when I'm wearing it, the screen will not be on. I will need to press this side button here on the easy scroll, and then the actual screen will come back on and it'll tell me the time. It'll stay up for about 5 or 10 seconds, and then I'll shut off again until it is above 50% again. But it doesn't stay above 50% very long. I need to shake the watch continually, and I've been doing it for a few days, and it does not work. That's the problem with a lot of kinetics and auto quartz. So if a little bit of advice, if you are buying a kinetic watch, a Seiko Kinetic or an auto quartz watch, definitely ask questions about the capacitor. Has it been replaced? Is it holding a charge? Is it staying on? Because this should have a 45-day standby time. So in other words, you could leave this for 44 days, pick it up on the 45th day, and it should be able to tell you the time. Now, what's happening with this is if I'm leaving it for about 2 days, it's not holding that time. If I leave it overnight, it holds the time. It just doesn't hold the display. If I use this button right here, this operates the light. It resets the watch. That's because there's too much of a drain on the actual battery, and that tells you that the capacitor is actually run down. So I can't use the light on this watch unless I want to reset the entire watch. So what happens is I press this, it actually goes back to midnight, the date resets, everything resets. But actually I was very happy with what Radcliffe did. They actually came through very quickly with the refund. They were very happy to do it, and I really do appreciate that. The watch came in perfect condition, actually better condition than they had described. It's really in perfect condition, not a scratch on it. Just scratches on the backside of the watch, and that's just from, obviously, the watch scratching itself. But that's it, no scratches on the outside, really in mint condition. I'm going to throw it on my wrist so you guys can see, and I'll talk about what I actually paid for this watch. And like I said, they gave me $300 back on it, so minus $300 is basically what I've paid, but I do need to get a capacitor. Today I'm wearing a different cool Quartz watch. This is a solar powered watch from Ver. This is their, I believe they called this the D5 Solar or D7 Solar. I don't remember. Really a high quality, really well made dive watch, and it's actually very affordable. AR coating is awesome on here. I wore this to the beach the other day. Full unboxing and then a review will be coming on this as well. I really love this watch. It's very affordable. I believe it's under $300 or under $400, somewhere around there. Really, really cool. Assembled in the United States, and you have a screw down crown, 200 meters water resistance, just a really nice bezel on it. Love that watch. Really, really cool. So the Ventura MGS on my 7.5 inch wrist. Let's talk about the size of this watch, and I'll do some measurements as well. The size of this watch is around 38 millimeters, I believe. So on my calipers, I'm getting 37.7, and then the lug to lug is huge. The lug to lug is around 60.4 is what I'm seeing, 60.5. It is a true lug to lug because the end links, there are no real, there's no lugs, so it just goes straight down. Just a really cool watch. It also gives me like that sort of something that, would be designed by iPod or something like that, like a really design focused brand. And it definitely has that vibe. It looks big on my wrist, but it is a big watch. And that's that lug to lug of 60 millimeters. So it does look big. It's just doesn't really hang off the sides of my wrist, but it does meet the sides of my wrist. But I do like it, and I really don't mind. I'll tell you what the width is in just a minute when I take it off my wrist. I paid for this watch $1,150. So that's what I paid originally, and then they refunded $300. I'm estimating that the actual repair on this watch will be between, I guess, $200 and $400, depending on where I actually send it. They suggested someplace that can actually do it, and I kind of would prefer to send it back directly to Ventura, but I have emailed them and they haven't even gotten back to me yet. There are places that repair these, so you can do that. 13 millimeters, it actually tapers to 10 millimeters on the sides, I believe. Actually a little bit thinner on this side. So it does taper on either side. It's thickest in the middle, which is 13 millimeters. Just a really cool, interesting watch. Like I said, be careful when you buy them. Just ask a lot of questions. And definitely buy it from someone like Radcliffe Jewelers, because they are a reputable AD. They have a business, and they will stand behind the product. And if you don't like it when you get it, or if the auto quartz is not holding a charge, you can return it. Now, if I wear it like this, if I get it on my wrist in the next few minutes, it will stay on, and then overnight it will go off. So since I have so many watches, it's not a huge deal, but I will get this fixed because I do want to have be able to pick it up and just use it. Now, the thing with auto quartz, and kinetic watches, they don't last very long. So a lot of times, I think the argument for a watch with a 10-year battery makes a lot more sense than getting an auto quartz. Really, an auto quartz is just for the sort of cool factor, I think, because auto quartz only lasts 4 to 5 years. The capacitors don't last 10 years. So if you would have gotten the quartz version of this, you could be able to just unscrew the back. It's only 30 meters of water resistance. You're not going to ruin any water resistance because there really is none to speak of anyway. You would just unscrew the back and then change the battery and screw back put the case back on. With this watch, I can't do that. I need to remove the movement, remove the rotor, remove the main plate, take out the capacitor. Now, the capacitor is something that you can buy very easily. Replace the capacitor, then put all the screws. I'm not going to be able to do that, especially with a PVD coated movement. It's just not worth the trouble. I'll definitely screw it up. And then, it's kind of stupid. And it's $1,150 watch. Not really that expensive, but it's very expensive for, a quartz watch that looks kind of weird. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think of this watch. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks great on my wrist. I do have a 7.5 inch wrist. It is large. You can see what I'm saying. It's a driver's watch. So when you're driving and you're holding a steering wheel, it's actually facing you. You could see it very, very easy, see what the time is. And then, you know, it's that little cool factor that you have the actual window up here. Again, I said MB&F before. MB&F make watches where you can see the movements on the top. They have really weird ways of displaying the time. They make driver's watches. Like I said, if MB&F came up with a Quartz watch, I really think this is what they would make. This is kind of what they would do. Super futuristic, very, very cool, super well made, Swiss made, German design. It's just cool. It's just a really cool watch. But that's my opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel. I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in